How you doing? Here I am with four of my favorite trees. These are sweet gum trees, also known as Liquidambar styraciflua. These trees are a great specimen that can be used for beginners. The primary reason why is they have natural defense against insects. Based on my experience, the taller one I've had since 2019, these trees don't have a bug that's gonna eat them. If you ever get a chance, cut a leaf off a sweet gum tree and smell the tip, the cut tip. It has this it smells different to everybody. To me, it's just kind of minty. It smells familiar, almost like a lemony spearmint, but it's a delicious scent. I now have four single potted trees, and I have others in a mixed forest with red maple. And the red maple trees seemingly are being protected by the sweet gum. Like in all my red maples that are potted by themselves or in a grouping with just red maples, those trees are under attack by bugs, but the red maple that are in the pot with the sweet gum are not. Now, on the taller tree on the right, this year, when the growing season started, I did have a small fungus breakout on it, but this is the response. I defoliated the tree. I didn't use any other thing besides that. I missed my trees, but I don't think that had any effect. But when the leaves grew back, it grew back even stronger, and no more fungus. So what I'll do is I'm going to take you in for a closer look at the individual trees. So you'll notice let's start with the big one. You'll notice that you can't see the trunk, and that's because this year I have a sacrifice branch growing. So you can see the trunk there. Those dark spots are old cuts that I made, and I used a sealant. When I first started growing this tree, I had a issue with a scale insect that I found on it. And so every time I cut it, I was very concerned about insects attacking the cut. So I went ahead and sealed all the other wounds. Although I don't know if I'm going to use the sealant anymore, because you can see here it takes a long time for this sealant to be absorbed, and it stains the gray bark. But I'm going to leave this branch growing while it thickens up the trunk. So I've had this tree sprouted in late summer, early fall of 2019, and it's lived in this pot since 2020. I use primarily the clip and grow method on this tree, although I had an issue with a branch. I had pointed it out in an earlier video. I'll show you. And it's this branch right here. This branch here was growing and crossing this branch. So it's wired. It's the only branch I have wired on all my trees, but I just felt like it was necessary. I'll go ahead and back out so you can see. But it's always been a very vigorous grower. This is about as tall as I'm going to let it get. It's approximately 3.5 to 4 feet tall. So let's take a look at the smaller ones. All three of these trees I potted this year with this particular one here, I'll bring it to the front. I potted this most recently. Let me set that there. Move this one out the way. And so this isn't a traditional bonsai pot, but I just like it. I like you can see this windmill that's on it. And so eventually I'm going to do a pinch prune on it, and I'll continue doing it. I have another set of leaves coming out here. I'm going to let those grow out, and I'll pinch prune. I'm going to pinch prune. I think I already did this one once. I might have to do it again because I don't want these 3 trees to get much taller. This blue pot is a pot that I bought back in 2020 from a bonsai store in Washington, D.C. I got this pot at an antique shop, and this is a mica pot that I got off of Amazon. Very inexpensive. So again, the reasons why, as a beginner, you want to consider the sweetgum tree is that whatever method you're going to use for growing your bonsai, you can concentrate on that without having to worry about fighting insects, and you can just get your skill down. So I've been able to use my clip and grow method to get the basic structure. Now I have made one huge mistake with this tree, and I'll point this out to you. And I did this last year where I had a new branch growing right here that would have filled in. You can see here that there's no balance here. There's nothing there. Well, last year this branch started growing and I broke it off by accident. I shouldn't have been messing with it. I should have just left it alone, and I snapped it off. Else that branch would have been very, very developed this year, as are all the other branches. But the thing with this sweetgum tree, it's very, very rewarding. So if you're thinking about getting into bonsai and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can get the sweetgum balls right off the tree and let them dry out, knock the seeds out, and just plant the seeds in some mulch and wait. You can get, like over here, let me show you. I have one growing right there, and I have a couple of pines. There's a pine growing there, and I have another pine growing over by the sweetgum, and just throw them in there. If it grows, it grows. If it don't, it doesn't cost you any money, but it's a free tree that isn't going to cost you a lot in terms of protecting it. It won't require it, and you can develop it the way you want to. I like upright. You can tell I don't have any bends in my trunks. I like for my trunks to grow straight, and any natural bends that occur, I like those. And so that's what I have for you. Anyway, I hope you are having a really, really nice summer, and remember to protect yourself if you are out in the heat working on your trees. Have a nice day.